If you care about the Rebel, or for that matter, freedom of speech, you must check out Ezra Levant's recent commentary, They Can't Stop Us. Now, in a nutshell, Ezra points out that YouTube, which is owned by the increasingly left-leaning Google, is tightening its so-called hate speech rules. YouTube is allegedly implementing its so-called tougher standards in the guise of cracking down on terrorism. But the terrorism angle is apparently a red herring, because really what YouTube is concerned about is cracking down on what it calls potentially controversial ideas. Got that? Not illegal ideas, but rather potentially controversial ideas, which of course could mean anything and everything. And how scary is that? Especially as Ezra points out that there's an increasingly cozy relationship blossoming between Google and Canada's federal Liberal Party. Oh yes, Justin is going to enforce that M103 legislation one way or another. Anyway, Ezra's commentary makes for a cautionary tale of what's going on behind the scenes and what Rebel is planning to do as a contingency plan. After all, it might only be a matter of time before YouTube decrees that the Rebel is simply too hot to handle for its liking and will be deleted from their platform entirely. Incidentally, this is not wild conjecture, for I have personally experienced the YouTube censorship hammer, and for inexplicable reasons. Here's the deal. As regular fans of the Rebel know, I occasionally venture out to a Canadian university campus for our Generation Trudeau segments. This is where I pose a truly outrageous goofball question to the kids on campus. For example, in our inaugural episode, I asked students to sign a petition to stamp out women's suffrage. And sure enough, the majority of respondents did indeed sign that petition, apparently not realizing they were supporting the idea of taking away the right for women to vote. Go figure. Anyway, on one of my visits to Ryerson University, I posed the goofball question of asking students which country Canada should send peacekeeper troops to: Wakanda, Latveria, or Iraq. The thing is, those three nations are all fictional comic book countries. As usual, it was good for a laugh, and it was all done in the spirit of good fun. But then a few weeks after the video was posted, it simply disappeared. Indeed, click on that video now and your eyes are greeted by a static-filled black screen, the only line of copy being, "This video is unavailable." Unavailable? But why? There was no Islamophobia or anti-Semitism. In fact, it was a completely innocuous video, devoid of all phobias and isms: racism, sexism, ageism, speciesism, you name it. And there was certainly no copyright infringement either. But apparently we had violated YouTube's terms of use policy. But what term of use? Well, that remains anyone's guess too, because we reached out to YouTube just to get an explanation, but that's kind of like trying to get an audience with the wonderful Wizard of Oz without an appointment. That's because one simply communicates with an automated process. There's apparently no one there to speak with, no one there to explain YouTube's own policy or give context. There's simply an algorithm that states someone made a complaint about the video, and in YouTube's arbitrary eyes, you are essentially assumed guilty until proven otherwise. Here's my take as to what happened. Some campus snowflake experienced buyer's remorse after he or she weighed in on the merits of Canadian peacekeepers being sent to a bogus country. And he or she lodged a complaint based on hurt feelings. But here's the thing, if YouTube will yank a video based on one complaint from one viewer for a reason that actually does not violate its own terms of use, can you imagine what the left-leaning YouTube of the near future might look like? I think that YouTube could well be devoid of any and all opposing arguments should they fly in the face of left-wing dogma, all because this entity doesn't want social justice warriors and campus crybabies to experience hurt feelings. Gee, talk about a black screen with static indeed. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, as I said, in the not too distant future, maybe the Rebel is going to be too hot to handle for YouTube and we will be deleted from the platform. But go to theycan'tstopus.ca. That's theycan'tstopus.ca and find out how you can help us here at the Rebel fight back.